Hi, my name is Barry Sterling Mitchell. I produce the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings and the Bias Plus Reports. Today is August the 6th, 2024, and this is Ben and Barry on football.
What's going on out there, everybody? This is Ben Dickerson. I am your co-host. I've been doing Who Would Have Thunk It every week. Had some pretty good ones. This one might not be so great, although unless you play fantasy, you may not be keeping up with this. And I only have this one. But the top three leading rushers so far this season are Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Josh Jacobs. What do they all have in common? They are all free agent signings from this past offseason. So I thought that was very interesting. And let me
The
repeat
top
that
three
again.
guys, somebody let them go, eh?
Let me repeat for Eagles fans out there. Saquon Barkley was a free agent. He chose to come to your team. We didn't give him to you. So stop going online thanking me as a New York Giants fan for giving you Saquon Barkley. I didn't do it. They didn't do it. They let him go. Now, if you want to call them idiots for letting him go right ahead. Go right ahead. But stop showing your ignorance by saying, thanks, Giants fans. Thanks for Saquon.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Benny, week 9 is in the books, and we are looking at week 10 of an 18-game season. Interesting that the free agent deadline falls at week 10, because that's also apparently when teams begin to realize
The trade deadline.
the trade deadline. What did I say?
Free agent.
Okay, thank you. The trade deadline, because a lot of teams seem to know at that point that they have no Super Bowl future left, whatever their aspirations were. So now they're ready to trade parts and move things and things of that nature. And so we're seeing interesting moves within the trade deadline. You know, you're a fantasy guy. How do you guys handle the trade deadline?
Well, that's something we kind of keep our eye on, if for no other reason than if a player you may or may not, but usually if you may have a player on your team that you drafted or picked up in free agency or in waivers that you expected to do very well for you fantasy wise, getting you a lot of points week after week. But because of the team that he's on, and of course, you know, fantasy is really all about skill players. So if it's a receiver and he's playing on a team that doesn't have a very good quarterback and he's not getting the kind of targets that warrants him getting the kind of points that you need from him, then you hear that the team he's on may become sellers instead of buyers because their record is so bad that they feel like they're going to let some people go, pick up some draft picks for the following season. You may want to hold on to that guy because you don't know where he's going to end up. Case in point, Tennessee Titans. DeAndre Hopkins was so bad. It wasn't that he was bad, but because the Titans were so bad and their quarterback situation was so bad that some people didn't even keep him on their team. They actually dropped him. He was taking up a roster spot and not getting anybody any points. So before word came out that he might be traded, in a lot of leagues, he was sitting on the waiver wire. He was sitting on the free agent list, doing nothing. But when the word came out that he could possibly get traded, people started to snap him up. When the word came out that he was possibly traded to the Chiefs, everybody snapped him up. He was gone within hours from like 2 zillion fantasy leagues. So that's a situation where he went from one team that didn't have a good quarterback situation to another team that not only had a good quarterback situation, but also had an offensive system that could easily be schemed up for what he still does well. Case in point, in a little bit of a lesser situation, Mike Williams with the Jets, going from the Jets to now to the Steelers. He can help the Steelers can help him. Mike Williams wasn't doing anything for the Jets. After that debacle of a game where he supposedly ran the wrong route, Aaron Rodgers basically was freezing him out. Now he's with the Steelers. He should probably help them, because basically all they got is George Pickens. So now they went from a one punch to a 1-2 punch. The old Steeler 1-2 punch was Deontay Johnson, who went to the Carolina Panthers. He was doing pretty well, actually, as well as could be expected, according to their quarterback situation. But now, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Deontay Johnson got traded to, oh my God, I can't believe my mind went blank. But anyway, he got traded, and he will be a plus on the team that he is on now.
You mentioned something to me that I didn't know. As far as fantasy is concerned.
Yes. So, as far as fantasy is concerned, the NFL trade deadline is way early. We usually do our trade deadline where we can trade amongst people in your fantasy league. That usually falls around week 11 or 12, I believe, because in most regular fantasy leagues, the playoffs begin around week 14.
That's right. You guys have a playoff during the regular season.
Yes. Regular season games count as playoff games in fantasy.
Okay.
In most leagues, in the majority of leagues.
Okay.
So we'll push our trade deadline back a little farther.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Like I said, that was something, you always educate me as far as fantasy concerned. I showed off that I finally in November, went and got Madden 25.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's a humbling experience, and it makes me appreciate when these guys have to learn new playbooks, or even worse, or not worse, but even at a higher level, you're the coach and you have a playbook. Now you have a different team. Are you running the same stuff out of your playbook, your schemes? You know what I mean? Or you know how to. And the one thing about the Chiefs, because I know you said you were talking about Newt, like he's not the guy he used to be in terms of the deep ball and all of that. Going to the Chiefs seem to understand the art of the 3 to 5 yard pass that goes 15 yards. And I mean, Kelsey is probably the poster child of that. You know what I mean? Block, release, toss me the 3 yard pass, and I'm off and we got a first down.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so Juju Smith, the funny part is I'm playing on the game. Juju Smith is torching me of all people, right? But again, Nuke is there, Juju, they got an interesting supplement of talent, How did you do last week in terms of your picks?
I did pretty well. Wait a minute. Let me look at this real quick here.
I'll tell you while you're looking.
The Chiefs beat the Bucks,
the
right?
My Splish report was 53% last week.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I did better than that. 10, 11.
We got 11 out of 15.
11 out of 15.
11 out of 15. I got this nifty little calculator here. Okay, hold on. Did I do that right? That's the one thing about
11,
about calculator. You still got to know the math. 73%.
73%.
Yeah,
I'm finally catching my stride here. The last couple of weeks.
Okay.
After doing pretty poorly in the first half of the season, but I'm things are starting to settle down.
Well, it's week 10, and that's what I was saying to you. I'm sitting up here and I'm playing the game, right? And I'm using. Well, first I start out with the Niners playbook, but I never stay with the Niners playbook, So then I go to a custom playbook, which is actually the Niners playbook that I begin to customize. And I'm learning those plays. But now Remember when I was talking to you about manipulating the defense?
Right.
Now, because I kind of have a handle on things, I can manipulate the defense now. So
Okay.
whereas I was just getting spanked early on, right? And I'm throwing pick after pick after pick. Now all of a sudden, well, I'm in a shootout, but at least I'm in a shootout, right? I'm scoring 30 points, right?
Right.
And now I'm having a little bit more success on offense. I still got to get my defense up to par. So I'm not ready to go online. I'll let you know when I hit the competitive situation, but it's building, and it's fun. It's just the whole learning process. You know what I mean? We haven't been out there on the field as players trying to learn somebody else's playbook in a while. So, and you're closer to it. At least you're the coach, and I'm still just over here, having fun. But I really do enjoy it. Okay.